Welcome to Dr. Jester Rants, and I'm gonna rant about this. From Post-Millennial, hashtag cancel Disney Plus, trends after Star Wars cancels Gina Carano. So this is the confirmation of what I was saying yesterday, that there were reports that cancel Disney Plus was trending on Twitter. Well, hate to be right, but here we are. And this is in turn after the very mild posting from Gina Carano. But according to rumors, the Disney has been looking forward to cancel Gina Carano, and it was a bit... they were looking for anything to cancel her. And apparently, they used as an excuse a post, a very mild post, in which she compared the right-wingers today to the Jews back in Nazi Germany. And as someone with a Jewish ancestry, I kind of see the parallels of what is going on with the current ctrl-left attacking the right-wing people. If you are curious, this is the post that she shared. In fact, it's not even hers to begin with. It was mostly just a screenshot from apparently 2010 or something thereabouts. And she shared this. This is actually quite factual. And someone with a Jewish ancestry, and taking the page from the SJW playbook, because apparently that's something one must do in this day and age, is that I give her a pass of doing this, because it's true. Anyway, this is what the post says, in case you're not looking at your screen. Jews were beaten in the streets, not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbors, even by children. Quote, because history is edited, most people today don't realize that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews. How is that any different from from hating someone for their political views? End quote. That's actually quite correct, because the current Democrat playbook, or the ctrl-left playbook, is using the media, which is an arm of the Democrat army, is to create propaganda to make you hate anybody that is right of Stalin. For instance, cat fur, I think. And for instance, they're peddling fake news about the Mr. Kenosha shooter, which I cannot say the name, just in case YouTube decides to yeet me. They created a lot of fake news in relation to that, in regards to the location, to a lot of reasons why he shot two communist rioters, and things like that. So that's fake news. The one in a certain riot that happened in a certain capital, in a certain country, in which it was milk dry, the cow was milked so dry that a certain president is getting impeached for something he never said, and it's a lot of fake news. So that ends up actually targeting an innocent group, a certain demographic, and it makes it easier for when the soldiers come in. They'll find no objection, they'll find nothing stopping them. The local population, the local neighbors, instead of rebelling, or instead of protesting, instead of creating the civil war to protect a certain demographic, will then see what is happening and think that's a good thing, and will not object the soldiers from coming in. And that's exactly what this post that she shared means. And getting cancelled over this is absolutely retarded. Well, anyway, let's go and read the news. Following the report of firing of Mandalorian star Gina Carano from Lucasfilm, hashtag cancel Disney Plus began trending on Twitter, with many citing other allegations against Disney-owned properties and employees. Well, this incoming in fact with Disney not only praising but thanking the military arm of China, who is responsible of the genocide against the Uyghurs. And then we have multiple posts of Disney employees attacking other races like white people, or being anti-Semitic, actual plain anti-Semitic. Nothing. In fact, Pedro Pascal is another anti-Semite, well, in that case, in which he shared a post comparing Jewish children with immigrant children getting detained at the border. But the problem is he used a picture from a cage in the Palestinian shenanigans, with Palestinians doing shenanigans with kids and something like that, which had nothing to do with America, and it was a-okay by these people. But the moment we compare the ctrl-left, which is in fact doing exactly what the Nazis did, projections again from them, suddenly she deserves to be cancelled. Suddenly it becomes a problem. And that, in my view, it's absolutely fucking retarded. Apparently, they do not like to be compared to what they really are. And in fact, the Nazis, neo-Nazis themselves, National Socialists even back then, were in fact leftists. Obviously the Overton window shifted for the left, but if we compare even the belief of socialism of today's neo-Nazis and National Socialism back in the day, and with communists, they are all leftists. They do not, and the current leftists think the Nazis are the absolute boogeyman, when in fact it should be communists. Because communists kill much more people than Nazis did. And they still are killing. But overall, it's a very dirty note on the history book of leftism. Anyway, obviously the right wing is not, it's not completely guilt-free, because they also have, obviously, religious persecution and some dictatorships that happened in Chile, for instance, which, in my view, despite being bad, it stopped getting it worse. Because if it wasn't for the dictatorship in Chile, Chile would have been another Cuba. So, between bad thing and worse thing happening, better be a bad thing than a worse thing, if you know what I mean. It's not like it was great, paradise or anything like that, but it was better to happen that shenanigan, which was extremely bad, to instead of actually happening something even worse, like what happened to Cuba, or Nicaragua, or even the current shenanigans happening in Venezuela. But either way, let's go on. Disney was cancelled. Carano was fired after sharing a controversial social media post. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the now deleted Instagram story showed a picture of a Jewish woman being persecuted by Nazis and said, okay, I showed you the picture, no need to read that again. Gina Carano is not currently employed by Lucasfilm, and there are no plans for her to be hired in the future. But don't worry. If you support pedophilia, if you're pedo adjacent, or in this case, MAP, or supports rape and things like that, like James Gunn, in this case here, don't worry, you're gonna get hired again. Because that's a-okay. In fact, the ctrl-left supports pedophilia, or at least defends them with tooth and nails, which makes you think, what in the actual fuck is going on in the ctrl-left? But this is a-okay for them. But saying that you are being persecuted by your political beliefs, because you don't believe exactly the same nonsensical bullshit that the ctrl-left believes, well, now that, you need to be cancelled. Wonderful, isn't it? The hypocrisy, the absolute shenanigans, and the duplicitous scum that is coming from the ctrl-left. Anyway, Gina Carano is going to... Oh, and by the way, she also got fired from her agent, you know, UTA, United something agency? No, something like that. She got also cancelled from her agents. Jesus Christ, it's a bullshit world. Anyway, soon after the announcement cancelled, Disney Plus was trending over Gina Carano, above Gina Carano on Twitter. And I hope she takes strength out of this and realizes that people support her. She's absolutely correct, and I absolutely support Gina Carano. Anyway, according to Hollywood Reporter, Lucasfilm planned to unveil Carano as a star of her own show during a December Investors Day presentation, but scrapped those plans following her November tweets. Multiple Mandalorian spin-offs are in the works from executive producers Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, according to the Rangers of the New Republic, which could have potentially starred Carano. Well, this is bad news because this means that the non-Kathleen Kennedy faction, the faction that was actually true to Star Wars, the Mandalorian faction, just took a huge hit. And the Kathleen Kennedy, the ones that actually hate Star Wars, that does not produce any Star Wars, well, it just produces Star Wars named content only, because nothing that they produce is in fact Star Wars canon or content that even follows Star Wars lore. That includes the Disney trilogy and the Solo movie and the current books being printed and the comic books and the other shit show of retarded bullshit that is worse than a filthy dingleberry with a very corn kernel stuck up on it, undigested kernel from a corn, you know. Those shows are an absolute waste of time to actually watch or even read, but apparently they took a huge win today, well, the last couple of days, with this. Well, I hope Disney takes a financial hit, a big one enough, to actually see, hey, let's not hire and not do woke shit unless we want to lose money. But apparently, this is not going to be enough, is it? They apparently have bottomless pockets that, or they are way more afraid of the cancel culture coming from the ctrl-left, because apparently, well, then again, Hollywood is infested with ctrl-left. You either buckle down and get your ass fucked by the ctrl-left, or you get cancelled. There's only two options left in this. Don't you just love shenanigans? Anyway, as the publishing this article, the opposing sides were using each other's hashtags to make their respective points, with others using hashtags to hype other Disney franchises, including WandaVision, which premieres a new episode on Friday. Doesn't matter. Anyway, this took a huge hit. The true Star Wars, which is The Mandalorian, and in fact, once again, Sophia Narwitz, she is absolutely correct. We should start gatekeeping these people out of our hobbies. This is what happens when you let these people, which we thought were good people, control our hobbies. Apparently, Sophia Narwitz keeps on being right, even though despite inside of me telling me, no, don't gatekeep, more people means more stuff, but it just keeps proving me wrong, isn't it? Because the more of these idiots that gets in, the more my hobby gets destroyed, and less Star Wars or less of hobby that I like is displayed. And eventually I get kicked out of the hobby that I once joined proudly back a long time ago. Anyway, on that note, thank you for watching. No, that's the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And stay right here on CarinTube or youtube.com/Dr. Jester for more tame content As you noticed, I had to censor myself a couple of times in this video. But if you want a more spicy content where I do not censor myself and I go on a rant, an epic rant, go to minds.com/Dr. Jester. But anyway, thank you for watching. See, this is when it should be the end. I keep fumbling my outro. Anyway, thank you for watching. Good night.